Hi guys, welcome back to Be Adventures. We've got some more story time. Oh my goodness, look what I'm wearing. This is actually a traditional Filipino Barong, the national dress of Philippines. So there's a male version and female version. And of course females have a actual long dress. But yeah, it's really cool. And it really shows the adapting to the local environment. Okay, and this is a very silky, lightweight fabric. You might even see it's a little bit transparent. And it's great for that tropical environment because it's very hot, very humid. You're always hot and sweaty. So you can see it's a very nice fabric. I hope it's coming up on camera. Yeah. And it's very sheer silky fabric. And it's made often from leaves, from banana leaf or pineapple leaf. So I actually got this in Australia. It was being sold at the Philippine embassy in Australia, and I picked one up. Some of you may have seen that video, the Pasco or Christmas. Pasco is Christmas. The Pasco Christmas video, and you know, I went to the market and they had these market stores and barbecue, and I got a barong. But I hadn't worn it, so I thought about time I started. You know, might wear it to a wedding or something. Anyway, so yeah, it's really nice. But yeah, the fabric itself is made from leaves. Like I said, banana or pineapple. I think there's some other types, and yeah, it's very cool. I can see why, so that way it doesn't stick to you when you're sweaty and hot. And that way you can still look a bit nicer, a bit more formal, even if it's a very hot environment. But yeah, maybe we'll talk more about things like that in future. But let's do some more story time. So I was just thinking there were some other stories I hadn't shared. And when I went to, I think it was Batangas, I rolled in a photo, where I met this Australian, and he'd married a Filipino and sort of retired in Philippines. And in this area of Batangas, he missed the Australian barbecue, the barbecue grill, and he built his own brick one. And then they're not uncommon in Australia, like in parklands, or someone might even have one at their house. Often we use gas barbecue now, gas grills. And anyway, but he built one out of bricks. And this is about perceptions, okay? So because this guy's building this brick barbecue, it looked like an oven to the locals. So they called him the baker. So even he's not a baker, he's an Australian guy, he married a Filipina, he's retired, you know. They call him the baker, and I'll put in a photo. So you see what I mean, guys? It's just like a brick grill. You put the wood in there, charcoal, and you make your fire and have barbecue. But it's just perceptions, you know. And then another guy, same thing. He's in Batangas. He married a Filipina. And in Philippines, you gotta understand it's a developing country. So you really have to be self-sufficient. You really need to be a handyman. It's important to have those skills. And if you don't have them, you better learn. And he had like just a shed garage, you know, sheet metal garage in his house. And then he had the drill press and the circular saw and angle grinder and all these tools. Okay, it's very normal in Australia, America. We have tools in our man caves, in our garage, in the shed. So the point is, because he had all these tools, they call him the mechanic. They said, oh, he's a mechanic. This is his mechanic workshop. You know, he's not a mechanic, but it did show the sort of... One, it's funny, they see these things, they assume, oh, he must be a mechanic, he must be a baker. But also, you have to be self-sufficient. It's important to have those handyman skills and those tools. Because he even said, if his car breaks down, there's not many places he can take it. Otherwise, he has to go to a bigger city, or try and find a mechanic he can trust, and blah, 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 blah. So he just has to do a lot of the work himself, you know, fixing things in the house or his vehicles. And he had motorbikes and things too, so anyway. Yeah, this is my very first trip, by the way. This is all my very first trip. Season 1, so you can go watch season 1 of the Philippines. And I went to Sagada Mountain province. Very beautiful, very cool. Like when you see me wearing a jacket and a hoodie, for real, like it's very cold. And it's nice change from the hot Manila city. So we went from Manila right up to Sagada. Very long bus journey. It took us about 12 hours, I think, and we had a lot of detours, we had a lot of problems. So anyway, might have been more, but anyway, look, the point is we're up in Sagada Mountain Province. We got a tour guide. We had to hire a tour guide, show us around. We want to see the mountains, you know, Ganda, beautiful. And this tour guide, we got this older guy is just looking at me, and he's just, you know, giving me the dirty looks. I thought, you know, Kuya, how are you? You know, oh, you look Japanese. And I said, no, I'm Chinese, Chinito, Chinese. No, you are Japanese. I know. And I said, no, Kuya, because he's older. You know, Kuya means older brother. I go, Kuya, no, please, I'm Chinese, no. He's, oh, you think you can invade our country? I went, oh my goodness. And he's like, well, when you invaded in World War II, the Pacific War, we fought back. You will never take this country. You will never take this country. I went, oh my. So this guy's got post-traumatic stress disorder or something, you know, PTSD. Or he's just a bit crazy. I said, Kuya, please, no, I'm just tourist. No more, okay? No more. This is a long time ago. The war is over, you know? And he wouldn't have been in the war, you know, even his own age. He couldn't have been in the war. He's just prejudiced, maybe, you know? Oh, you know, we will fight you, Japanese, we will fight you. I'm looking at the Filipino friends. Can you tell him, Tagalog, tell him? And they're saying, yes, Kuya, he's Chinese, he's not Japanese. Why are you being crazy? And then the whole tour, like, you know, here's the mountain, here's the cave, and I'm watching you, Japanese. So again, back to perceptions. They put a label, they put a tag, they put a label. That's it. You know, it's stuck. And anyway, I just was nice to him, and I gave another tour guide a tip. And he got so upset. Why did you give him tip? I'm your tour guide. I said, because you're very mean. You keep calling me Japanese. You keep saying fight Japanese. I said, you're crazy. This one is nice. He's talking nicely. He's also helping our group, showing around. So I give him tip. And he was a very good tour guide. He really sort of, they're working together, but he ended up sort of taking our group. He was the one who really knew the area. But it was just funny. That brings me on to the next story. In the Sagada caves, like, I can never pronounce it properly. It's Samaguig. I can never pronounce it. I'll put an annotation. And beautiful cave. Inside the cave is multi-level waterfalls. So if you're ever in Sagada or you like caving and hiking, check it out. It's worth it. It was worth that nasty bus ride. Like, the bus didn't have cushions. We were on metal seats, sheet metal seats on the way in. Because we had to swap buses. We had to transfer and keep changing buses, and we ended up with this really bad one. And we call it the iron coffin, or the steel coffin, because we were just bouncing on steel seats. It was very painful. So anyway, after all that traveling, everything, these beautiful caves, right? And it's really quite an adventure. So if you're an adventurer, you'd love it. Like, we even got a rope and we swung across this ridge. And, you know, if you fall, you'll die and all this sort of stuff. And I kind of told this story before, but yeah, great. And I'd actually dropped my slippers, my flip-flops. And I dropped them down the cave and I went, oh! But I didn't care because I'm having this great adventure and we had to keep going. You have to go finish the cave. You can't just block the line, otherwise the cave will be stuck. There's many people behind. And then this tour guide tapped me, Alfie. And he goes, hello sir, I'm Alfie. And I said, hello Alfie, how are you? And he said, sir, I saw you drop your slippers. They look nice. And I said, they are nice. And the reason why you wear slippers, it's better to be barefoot sometimes, so you take them off, because it's slippery, there's a waterfall. So better you take them off, you have a bit more suction, a bit more traction, and then later you put them back on. So he said, look sir, I saw you drop your slippers swinging on the rope and all this. He said, I can get it for you. I said, oh, okay, if it's not much trouble, sure, yeah, that's okay. So Alfie, and he's like a mountain guy, he's strong, you know, he's like Spider-Man. I saw him walking up and down the caves. He really, you know, they're like Spider-Man. No safety helmet, no harness, just a rope or just their slippers, flip-flops, you know. And I was watching him like, oh, Alfie, come back. He went down in 30 meters. And there's the stalagmites, the spikes, the stone spikes inside the cave. This is a spike pit, man, you'll die. You're like, what are you doing? You're like, oh, it's okay. And he disappeared into the darkness, right, with a flashlight. And I hope he's okay. So we continued hiking. We went through it's a very long cave, a 3-hour hike. So we're continuing for a long time. And then finally at the very end, Alfie was waiting for me. And I said, oh, are you okay, man? You disappeared. He said, yes, sir. I went through the bottom of the cave. I had to find another way to get back up. And there's water at the bottom, you know. So I had to swim through the water. I said, oh my God. I said, Alfie, you shouldn't have worried. It's just flippers, flip-flops. And they're my Oakley slippers, if you've seen them in the Quran videos. The ones, the Palawan videos where I get my flip-flops repaired. But anyway. So I was like already detached, like they're just slippers. And then he said, here you go, sir. And I was, oh, thank you so much. You're like, very convenient, you know, otherwise I would have lost them. I just thought to myself, look, what would I be happy to pay for some new slippers? You know, like maybe $10 or something like that. And so I just got as many bills as I got together. I had like some small bills, and I just went, you know what, I'll give him I'll be nice, I'll just give him, you know, like, I gave him a lot actually. I think it was 800 pesos. I just grabbed the largest notes, like a 500 and a 500 or 500 and 200, you know, anyway. So I gave him a bit of money, and I said, come closer. He said, what's wrong, sir? I said, just stand next to me. And I said, put your hand next to mine. And then we did the deal, like we just did the dodgy, you know. And then, so he didn't know how much I gave him, and then he just opened his hand, and his eyes popped. He went, oh, okay. He knew if we show people, they'll get upset. And then he put it away. I said, put it away, man. So he puts it in his pocket, and then the crazy tour guide and the other tour guides came, hey, how much did he give you? And he showed them, and they were screaming, oh, how come you gave Alfie big tip? Oh, how come you know how much he earns? He earns 200 pesos a day. You gave him so much. You know, you are ruining the world. You know, you're unbalancing the system. I said, look, Alfie risked his life to get my slippers. So at least I reward him properly, you know. Even if I can buy some new slippers, I would pay a similar amount, so I give him a nice tip. So same, you know. Either I buy new slippers or I just get my old ones back. But I said he did not ask for anything. He didn't ask for like money, or he just said, do you want me to get your slippers? I went, yeah. So I said, look, gentlemen, instead of accusing me of being Japanese spy, that's what they called me, sorry. You are Japanese spy, we know. You are spy, Japanese spy. I said, instead of calling me Japanese spy, be nice and make friends, amigo, and we are okay, you know. And Alfie's like, this is where he's drinking his coffee, like, oh, you know, making fun of the other guys. Oh, see, I got tip. Anyway, he was funny. He was really cool. But anyway, that was a real culture shock. You know, they're calling me Japanese spy and acting crazy. But I had a good time in Sagada. I really liked it. A bit quieter, cleaner air, and people were very cool, just calm, very just laid back people, you know, chilled out. Except that one tour guide, you know. And yeah, okay, so this is first trip, going into Boracay. And this is first trip and first time at Boracay. And we flew in, you know, I flew in. And at Calibo Airport, and from Calibo you get a van and then get a ferry to Boracay Island itself, so you save some money. But it does cause a delay, so in future I would probably, you have to give yourself extra time, always. Because the van can be delayed or the ferry delayed, you know. Okay, so you don't want to miss your flight. But anyway, I flew in and I had checked luggage and my backpack. Checked luggage goes underneath the plane, you cannot touch it. Okay? Checked luggage. And I had some knives in there, which I bought from Sagada in Manila. And one of them was a tanto. I should have brought one, but it's a tanto blade, like a Japanese short sword. So it's a very big knife, but it's like just a thin, curved one. And I got that in Sagada, right? I got that in the Philippine mountains, right? The Sagada Mountain province, and a beautiful blade. The wood was ebony, beautiful hardwood, handmade. That's why it's more the souvenir. So I kept it locked up in my luggage, as I'm supposed to. And Boracay, the ferry port, so when we came in on the ferry, it's like an airport security, the X-ray and the metal detector. And they said, sir, we saw a couple of blades in your bag. And I went, yeah, sure, so what? And they said, you can't have it in Boracay Island. I was like, oh, come on, guys, because one was a modern tento, one was a modern shorter tento, and one was the traditional one in the wood sheath and everything. And as soon as I opened up my bag, they saw these two blades, these two tento blades, or tanto blades, however you like to pronounce it. And one of the security guards goes, oh, he's samurai. He looks Japanese and he has Japanese blade. He is samurai. He's telling the other guards, relax, relax, because he is samurai. They says, sir, we know samurai must carry the sword, but you cannot carry here. This is Boracay. You cannot carry sword here. I said, no, I'm Chinese. And he looked at me. Are you crazy? You are Japanese and you have Japanese swords. So they said, look, sir, we're sorry, we have to take them. And I was really ticked off too, because it was not the money, it was that this was handmade. I could not find it again. It was a handmade, one of a kind. But anyway, and I just, it was very nice. A souvenir, something from Philippines. And so they're all... So yeah, and you can see that in the video. You can see the security, But yeah, it's just funny, the perceptions, they see you and the things they come up with. And then the American and Filipino friend I met in Boracay, very nice couple, Filipino American and this other American gentleman, they married, and they're taking their vacation together in Boracay. And it was just so funny. This tour operator called Romeo. He's like I don't know how like a salesperson. So he sells the tours. Hey, do you want island hopping, ATV, skydiving? What do you want to do? So he'd come to our hotel every morning because it was a waterfront, right on the beachfront. So he'd just go to each of the beachfront hotels saying, anyone interested in tours with pictures? Do you want tour? So he said, hey, Korean kid. I said, hello, Romeo. I said, I'm not Korean. And he goes, I know. You look Korean. I said, no, I'm Chinese. And he goes, oh. So he just, that's just what the whole street called me now. And then he said, look, do you want to do some things? Where's your girlfriend? And I said, I don't have one. He said, go find one. Go find a beautiful girl and do some things. I said, well, I'll do it by myself. It's okay. He's getting confused. Why would you do it by yourself? I said, because I'm crazy. I'm an adventurer. Just, what do you got? He goes, island hopping and this and that. I said, okay, I'll do island hopping. He says, more fun in the Philippines. I said, sure. No, more fun with friends. Find amigo, find friend. Oh, okay. So he said, ask your friends at the hotel. And I said, well, I don't really know them. He said, this one's Swiss man. Very nice gentleman, Swiss man. I go, like Swiss, from Switzerland. He goes, yes. Okay. And I said, hello guys, how are you? I said, sir, you're from Switzerland. He goes, no, I'm American. And that's what they call him, the Swiss gentleman, the Swiss guy. So can you see these labels? I don't know how they come up with them. And he looks American, he talks American, he's a nice guy. But it was just funny, and they told them, the husband and wife, I was the Korean kid, so they kept calling me Korean kid. And then so finally we were talking, and they're like, so are you actually Korean? I said, no, I'm Chinese, but from Australia. And they went, oh, okay. I said, so are you actually European or Swiss? He goes, no, I'm American. Anyway, so we became friends, and we went island hopping together. That was really cool. And, got to meet some cool people. But yeah, just for what it's worth, I'm not complaining. It was just funny, the perceptions. The baker, the mechanic, the Japanese spy, the Japanese samurai, the Swiss, the Korean kid, Anyway, so some funny stories for you. Yeah, I was gonna tell some more, so I'll probably say that for another video. But got some juicier stories too. Got some naughty ones. We'll see if that comes out. But anyway, guys, look, Why am I talking about Philippines? Story time. Maybe it's a clue. Maybe there's another trip coming up. If you haven't seen my series, I've got Philippines season 1, 2, and 3. All these different travel series, go check them out. And you can even see some of those parts of the stories. And the reason why I'm telling them is because sometimes I couldn't catch it on camera, so I'm just sharing it now in story time. But like I said, maybe it's a clue. So anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for checking out my barong. And I will see you in the next video.